Oh my god. It's that apartment from that one event. No way. I sit on a sofa in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows. I see that. This place looks nice as hell, honestly. I drag my focus back to reality. Snap back to reality. Behind me, Kolfni is jumping up and down on the bed, making strange dorky noises as she bounces. Yeah, that checks out. You're sleeping in the corner, get the fuck off my bed. That's mine. Kolfni launches herself too high and loses her balance, landing headfirst on the mattress. Her neck makes a loud crack before she bounces off the bed and hits the ground. Oh, she fucking dies. Rest in peace. You were a great character. I'll see you. Big shot? I was the shot. I was the only shot. The only shot we actually accomplish anything. Me when I lie on the internet. That is like the biggest fucking that is like the biggest like little white lie I've ever heard. It's like, oh yeah, nah, I was just an employee at a PMC. I didn't like fight the fucking official military of the country I was in. I was like, nah, I wouldn't do that. No, I would never lie to you. Thanks to the pass, we haven't been hindered or searched once on our way here. In fact, the concierge handed us the keys to the suite without a second word. Municipal police eyed us a few times, two dolls at my sides, our luggage, raising flags, but each time one glanced at our ID and they'd immediately backed it off. They backed it up? No, they backed off. That seems kind of sketchy. You can forge one ID and literally just walk through with a million guns wherever you want to go. For some reason, my mind defaulted to thinking about the Las Vegas shooting when this happened. His ID says big shot on it. You can't stop him. No way. This does feel quite novel compared to my usual way of life in the Yellow Zone. While Group 2 didn't take the same train as us, their reports indicate that their journey has been going quite well too. If they're just like, they're enjoying the fucking like sweet life of fucking Zack and Cody or whatever. They're living in the fucking like penthouse, having parties and shit. Meanwhile, everybody else is fighting for their lives in the streets. Let me know what she calls. Cross and nods, the inspiration group 2, yada yada yada. I take out a bottle of sparkling water. Holy shit. This place really is fancy. You go through all that, and the only thing in the fridge in this place is like LaCroix, or whatever it's called. However you pronounce that. The fucking shitty water that tastes like static. I sigh, this bottle of water would probably cost a month's worth of mission earnings at the Yellow Zone. I twist off the cap, the bitter liquid flows over my tongue and helps ease my fatigue a little. Yeah, we're living the high life now. Fuck that bounty hunter shit. I hear teasing laughter over my earpiece. I quickly sweep my gaze over my surroundings, looking for hidden cameras. Yeah, I'm watching you right now. Don't be so anxious. I was simply borrowing Kolfni's visual feeds. You could just do that. I look behind me, sure enough, Kolfni is sitting on the bed and looking at me. I walk over to Kolfni and turn her head in the other direction. Are you just allowed to, like, park there? Do they have parking outside the walls where you can have your whole ass, like, giant military base just sit there and be fine? I know this game takes place in, like, Eastern Europe and Russia mostly, but imagine, like, trying to park that fucking thing in, like, America. Imagine having to go to, like, Dallas and somehow try and find a parking spot for that fucking massive base. Or, like, New York City, you would have to walk for ages. There would be nothing within miles of, like, where you'd want to go. You're like in downtown NYC, and you just drive in that thing. It takes up all the lanes. Ugh. Nightmare scenario. Don't make fun of my financial status, just let me enjoy the sweet life while I can. You hacked my accounts? How is that considered hacking? I prefer to call it effective asset management. By the way, you're now in debt. I've spent half the money you had left. I choose to ignore dandelions. Yeah, true. Alright, patch me through. We can hear these critical updates. Oh. We're being watched at this very moment. Alarms immediately go off in my head. If Helena could be snatched even in the white zone, it means Nakhma doesn't have much control over the situation in Lviv. That also implies what Kryuger said about putting Girard Group on trial is probably not going to happen. I rub my temples, feeling grateful for my instincts. Of course my trip to Lviv wouldn't be smooth sailing. I mean, is it ever? Just be happy that oh, well, this hospital is... Well, there's no, like, gold plate. There's no slot machines, first off, so I don't know about this sketchy environment. I feel like it's missing the most important part. But it is still very nice. Oh, you're just sitting in the corner. Did I comment on this before? Bro's even got the fucking, like, Rolex and everything. Also, like, the fur around his, like, white suit. Like, bro, he's on another level of drip. He's got something else going on. Is this the fucking jungle section? Wait a minute. This is the same CG, you just put plants everywhere. I see through your deception. This is the same CG as the one in Intertwined Assault. They just put a billion fucking plants everywhere to try and hide it. At the end of the corridor, Kryuger opens a door. There is a small reception room beyond, and another door on the far side, and another door in the closet. And there are some magazines on racks, and one of those, like, little things that children play with where you slide the toys up and down in, like, the waiting room. You shifted your eyes away when you said that. Do you know something I don't? Yay, yummy radiation. Was this like... Is this like the NFL tablets? You could hit like the replay button, just show it in real time. Is it normal police like policy to release radiation to knock out everybody in the area? Inside of a city? It's like some Spetsnaz shit. Okay. All the hostages are trapped. Release the radiation. Yeah, these dolls really do be like just deciding to cause shit for no reason. They act without their fucking master's commands. They're like, today I will release my radiation payload into this populated city. Well, they are being tracked by their whole military right now, I would assume. They're kind of busy. I nod and rise to my feet. Hoffney moves to follow me, but Leva raises a hand to stop her. Yeah, nobody wants to be there when we start yelling at each other. Like proper coworkers. Yo, what's up? Lena lightly shakes the person lying on the bed, but she doesn't respond. Busy snoozing. Man, shut the fuck up, I'm going to sleep. Kalina wraps herself in the blanket, curling into a cocoon with her back turned to me. She shows no sign of responding to Lena. Let me handle this. Pulls like some smelling salts outside the fucking... You doing okay? How's that radiation treating you? I don't understand why, but like this like bedside table makes me violently angry. The fact that it has 3 different sizes of drawers. Normally you only see 2 different sizes, right? You have like 3 up here, then there's like a big one at the bottom. But seeing 3 different sizes just makes it look off somehow. It looks really annoyingly bad. Almost as bad as this art behind her. What the fuck is this? I creep to her bedside and rise on my tiptoes, trying to glimpse her face. Callan seems to realize what I'm trying to do and covers her face with a blanket. Oh, you're like Two-Face now? Soft sniffles escape from behind the fabric. I sigh quietly and then take my seat beside her bed, waiting for her to emerge. The ward is filled with an almost unbearable silence, which only makes me more aware of how out of place I am here. I have to say something to break this deadlock, and with that in mind, I decide to speak. You've been baited. Upon hearing this, Colleen is so annoyed she pops her head out of the blankets and glares at me. You're just that easy. In an attempt to ease the awkwardness in the air, I look at the fruit basket near the head of the bed. There's apples and a fruit knife in there. This is how you heal relationships, you just offer people apples. This works in real life. Kalina lowers her head without saying anything, she nods in silence. Want some Jamba Juice with that? Would you like a relish tray? I can get you one of those plates with like crackers, little slices of meat and cheese as well if you want. I pick up one apple and begin removing its skin. Meanwhile, Kalina's eyes are fixed on the apple. I hand her the peeled apple. That was fast. Holy shit. Talent right there. Kalina takes a bite of it and then the tears start flowing once again. The apple of instant sadness. This apple fucking sucks. Nah, man, it's all good. I mean, yeah, that's definitely not good. You definitely did, like, fail spectacularly for the 2nd time in a row, but, you know, it's fine. Happens to the best of us. Her voice is very soft, but every word oozes self-loathing and regret. That's a skill issue. Never feel bad about your decisions, ever. Yeah, it's up in the air. We could bring it back. In that case, I'll just unplug this funny machine from your, your heart real quick. Yeah, and then we'll do a third, time for you to hand her off, and you'll fail that one as well. It's a good thing it's not my job to console people. I'd be very bad at it. When you say it like that, it makes me feel like we're actually gonna lose her in this event. Every time, wait, no, it's not, no. No, stop saying that. I need to think about this. No, this is not my fault. This seems like a continuity error based on the newest GFL 1 event. Why did you leave without saying anything? They were kind of arrested. It's kind of one of those things. Also, they stole the massive base. It just drove off. That is probably the funniest part. I pause for a moment and then I decide to tell her. Fucking finally, it's only been about a year. It is kind of the worst organization. But hey, it's bad for a reason, okay? It's the reason why they're so fun to kill in Reverse Collapse. I should have never involved you in the Helena mission. That shit happened so long ago, I'm struggling to even remember how that started in the first place. Willing to join NAFMA? Get the fuck out of here. This is a recruitment drive right now. Elaborate setup. Elaborate setup, she's just faking to be injured. It just pulls out a piece of paper. Please sign here, here, and here. She picks up the apple and bites down on it, then offers it to me. It's fucking disgusting. Wash your hands. I take it without hesitation and take a bite of it too. You're fucking disgusting. There's definitely some diseases on that thing. Oh, come on. Galena smiles in a complicated way. She wipes her tears and speaks to me. The commander is just too kind, but also the commander doesn't care about anyone. I'm struggling to understand your logic here. You shivering? You're cold? What? You want me to turn up the thermostat? Kalina lies back down and covers her face with her blanket. I don't know what to say right now. Words bubble up inside me but die on my tongue. I put the apple on the table and stand up, but she doesn't react. All I can do is turn away, open the door, and leave the room. Kryuker is waiting for me right outside. Define alright. Oh, we're going undercover? Alright. The bros are working together again. This is a sign for things to only improve and not get worse significantly. It's funny that they're doing this because I know there's just that little bit of information from the soccer event where it's at the end of this, the commander will be considered a terrorist. I need to know how long that mission was. How long were we recording? It's been 50 minutes. Holy shit, this thing is long. Is that 3 story missions in a row? Okay, that's... Okay. Oh, wow. This is... Yeah. We're committing here. I like it, though. They're going in. After passing through multiple layers of security checks, I find myself standing at the entrance to the Girard Group's HQ. I take a deep breath. The building's interior surprises me more than the entire city of Lviv. The floors are so clean, they're practically shining. Holographic time displays hang in the air. I'm surrounded by the faint scent of disinfectant. All this fills me with an instinctive sense of discomfort. What do you mean? What do you mean everything doesn't look like shit? I'm out of my element. Looking at the milling throng at the building's entrance. Okay, what the fuck does that even mean? A large, densely packed crowd of people or animals is a throng. This game's not even, like, in English. This game is translated into English, by the way, and they use words that I don't even fucking know. There are a few people in this express corridor. I'm able to bring the dolls in without drawing much attention. I try to loosen my collar as I walk. It feels like a noose. Okay. While muttering to myself, I accidentally skip the text. My hand reflexively reaches to my waist where my handgun ought to be. However, there's nothing but a well-made fountain pen and a press pass there. We're going without the strap? Oh no. Yeah. All journalists have a pronounced slouch in their back. Like rats. After verifying our identities, the receptionist leads us to a table. Oh, are we gonna sit on like a board meeting? At least they have a fucking wine bar at the board meeting. This is the most based company, holy shit. There's a pre-summit tea gathering. Oh, it's tea. Never mind, this fucking sucks. Is that like a little hint? Make sure you check out the tea at the tea bar as well. That shit's fire. I take out her ID photo and study it carefully. Alright, let me see it. Come on. Lay it on me. If you met her before, Commander. Ah. Why do you just keep gaslighting your own subordinates? It's like, nah, I wasn't that important of a person. I couldn't have possibly met somebody like that. It's like, I'm starting to suspect that it's not even lying. She just doesn't understand that she was in fact a very important person, like 10 years ago. Elsewhere, the researchers who are newer to the industry are gathered in front of the refreshments table, seemingly exchanging gossip. Some of them are just going to town on like the fucking cheese platter or whatever. I send Graza and Kolfni out to conduct fake interviews while I try to find Orfilmloon. That is like the worst attitude to have in the world. Beep, beep, beep. Lore recognized. Yeah, nobody. I've already tuned them out. Oh no, not the PTSD. Get me out of here. I need to leave. The flames of the NSU's war burned from Moscow all the way to Frankfurt. The fragile illusion of peace was shattered by the hands of the people themselves. The scorched earth was soaked in the blood of the fallen. Countless lives were reduced to nothing more than sacrificial lambs. Alarms, gunsmoke, ruins. Mothers in despair, weeping children, dolls fleeing in all directions. And then there are the memories from Nirvana being open. Shut up, bitch. I'm reminiscing right now. Could you imagine? PTSD activated, just start fucking like throwing hands with my own subordinate. Flashbulbs and cameras are going off all around me. Well, I figure nobody remembers my face anymore. This is like the funniest shit ever, because she literally like was a massive part of saving the city way back when. She like doesn't think she's important at all, but is like one of the more important people in like, you know, lore 10 years ago. The news I just heard sparks an explosion of thoughts in my mind. Orphalun, so she was a survivor of Frankfurt after all. If that's true, then what role did she play when she was there? Was she a civilian? A scholar? A soldier? Or was she a member of Paradius? Did this Project Eden she's working on now grow from seeds planted back then? Does that dazzling CV of hers hide an involvement with Paradius? Or is she just another Paradius leader thrust onto the stage after William made his exit? As I lose myself in my thoughts, a voice suddenly shatters the peace on the balcony. The voice comes from the other side of the balcony. There's a small gazebo here, half hidden by the shrubbery. I turn to look at it and see someone pacing there, seemingly frustrated about something. I silently study this sudden speaker. While I'm still some distance away from her, my instincts tell me that she is my target. Target in what way? Wait a minute. I might have messed something up the debriefing. You don't have your gun anymore, but there's a balcony. Good work, Agent 47. She is currently stomping the ground in frustration, trying to pick up her scattered papers, but then a sudden gust of wind ruins her plans. Oh, you're that person. You're that person from the title screen. Panicked, she goes after the wind-tossed papers like a kitten chasing a butterfly. One of them drifts over the edge of the balcony. She leans out to get it. I see her about to fall off the side of the balcony. I stop caring about whether she's my mission objective and break into a sprint. I grab her collar with one hand and pull her back from the brink, while snatching the fluttering sheet of paper out of the air with the other. You may have just doomed yourself. She might be like Mecha Hitler in disguise. She might hold all the secrets to like the Paradius compound and you just let her live like that. We didn't even have to show up here. She was just gonna like off herself. Yes, I was recording you the whole time. It's just a prank, bro. She hesitates for a moment. Cross my heart and hope to die. I would never spy on somebody from a prestigious group like G-Rorg. Smartest scientists of our generation be like. You and I skip text like a retard. Her mood does seem a little mercurial for someone of her status. That is a very... that's an understatement. Yay, I made a friend with the enemy.
そんなわけないでしょ。これくらいこのオルフェルーネ・ジラードにとっては日常茶飯事よ。
Despite her words, she ends up crumpling the paper in her hands.
大勢の専門家の前で研究成果を発表するのは確かに気が引けます。今まで取材させていただいた方々も大勢を前にすると緊張するとおっしゃっていました。
本当に？
ええ。むしろそれは聴衆のことを気にかけている少佐とも言えるでしょ
う。連中が聞きたいのは天才科学者の発表よ。でもこの原稿、こんなの私の言葉じゃない。
ではなぜご自分で用意をしないのですか？
私の話を理解してくれる人がいないからよ。
Her expression grows complicated. It seems she is recalling an unpleasant experience.
前に一度自分で原稿を用意したけど、助手があれは災難だったって。その発表の後、あの手この手で映像記録を抹消したそうよ。
災難？
光量子もつれの研
Oh,
究
wow.
で非ユークリッド位相空間に存在する色素分子のメタサーフェスを発見したわ。それは無限テロ
Through
ピ
my
ーを利用し
research
て
on quantum entanglement and cross-dimensional photosynthesis, I discovered a pigment molecule superconfiguration based on non-Elucidean topological structure that could convert dark energy into bioenergy through negentropic increase. The mechanism is entirely different from the dehydrogenase mediated proton pump coupled electron transport chain conveniently observed in nature. Instead, it relies on vibrational mode in the 11-dimensional world of superstring theory. Obviously, fucking idiots who don't understand what that means.
興味ある？
Kind of. I wouldn't get it either, but I would like to listen to it.
ほら、ほとんどの人は知識そのものに興味なんかない。
内容というより伝え方の問題では？
どういう意味？
抽象的な言葉は大衆には響きません。もっとみんなが想像しやすい事柄で例えることはできませんか？
実は植物は日光以外のものを食べるとか？
いいですね。それで？
She said that, and in my mind I'm like, wait a minute. The Helena colognes can feed off of radiation. That's how they work. I'm curious what this research of yours is pertaining to.
例えば、日光以外にも放射線をエネルギー源にすることができて、有害物質を養分に変えられる。なんてどう？
I'm so fucking smart. I just saw this coming from a mile away. Her eyes begin to light up and she grows more and more animated. She begins gesticulating and describing just how her research could change the biosphere and contamination zones.
上々です。これなら誰もが興味を持つでしょう。
分かってくれる記者がいるなんて
Also, your experimentation on cloning children and making them absorb radiation.
喜ばしいことよ。
認めていただけたようで何よりです。実はあなたが研究している植物を今まで見たことがあります。
Yeah, I've seen this in real life when they turn people into like these giant fucking plant monsters. You gonna follow that up on stage?
本当に？
見た目がエピフィラムに似たものですよね。
どうしてそれを？まさか私の実験施設に入ったことあるの？
Oh, you know, I've been around. Orphalin begins muttering to herself. It seems like she's realized
あ
something.
なたまさか企業スパイ？
Orphalin pounds as she studies my ID. Just as the mood in the air begins to turn strange, I hear a contralto voice from the balcony
お
entrance.
嬢様、ここにいらしたのですね。
This is awkward. Ayla reaches out to straighten Orphalin's rumpled collar.
今着ている白衣もこの場にはふさわしくありません。ドレスにお着替えください。でもドレスなんか窮屈だし。これもジラードのためです。
Doesn't matter. You will be dripped out. You have no choice in the matter. Surely enduring a little discomfort is necessary for the glory of the Girard family. Oh, you're one of those, aren't you? As she says this, Igla's gaze briefly sweeps over me. There's a hint of warning and displeasure in it.
どなたかは存じませんが、お嬢様のお相手をしていただきありがとうございました。
Yeah, of
礼には
course.
及びません。オルフェルーネさんとお話できて、こう
She politely extracts a name card from her breast pocket and hands it to me.
お嬢様の専門分野にご興味がおありでしたらぜひ明日のセミナーにお越しください。
Oh, you know, I might just show up. Can you give me some, like, fucking fashion, like, statements as well? Give me some pointers. Her tone is cool and polite. The judgment and caution are evident in her gaze.
発表聞きに来てくれる？お嬢様、時間です。質問があれば終わった後に聞きに来てもいいわよ。ちゃんと答えるから。
Of course. Be asking all the questions. Igla guides Orphalune away, but the latter looks back clearly excited. Igla follows Orphalune's gaze. Her voice is gentle, but the warning in her tone becomes more and more evident as she speaks.
では編集長、今宵の宴をどうぞお楽しみください。ただし、くれぐれも両軍を履き違えることのないように。もうまたそうやって圧かける。申し訳ありません。
The two of them vanish through the balcony entrance. I'm still standing there, feeling the weight of the information in that brief exchange. Orphalune is far more innocent and defenseless than my data suggests. Of course, that could just be an act. I study the card Igla left me. In addition to the usual contact information, there's a line of small letters. Science runs on curiosity, but danger often begins there too. Choose wisely. Just like subtly shit-talking. I love it. You can tell something's like good or you're having fun when it's really long as shit, but you're happy because there's more of it to experience, as opposed to it being boring and dreading having to sit through more of it. This is fucking great. I love the fucking the Igla just standing there suddenly like talking shit. Gracefully shit talking. That shit is hilarious. I love that shit so much when you're making a friend and you realize, oh shit, they're like part of the enemy. It humanizes them as a faction as well. They're like, because Girard before was just fucking Rurik and he was a total dipshit. And his son, who was kind of a dipshit but sort of redeemed himself. Like, when you have like actual characters now for this group, it just makes it a lot more cooler and it makes it a bit more, there's more nuance. Because I'm not so, like, one-sided about them now. It's like, there are cool people who work here. But also, Igla is an actual threat. And her being there is so, like, just unnerving as well as just funny, the way she, acts. She seems to have total faith in what she's studying. It makes me think that she genuinely believes she's doing a good thing. I don't smell the stench of Paradis' lies and evil coming from her. Instead, she feels too innocent. At the moment, it's difficult for me to tell if she's being genuine or if it's an elaborate act. It seems I'll need to find a way to make further contact with her. There's a series of knocks on the door. Graza gets up to open it. Somebody ordered the chicken and dumplings. This is like a bug, or like a bomb or something. Graza and Kolfni inspect the gift box and even take apart the small device. They don't find anything suspicious. It's another threatening message from the 3rd gen doll. Graza picks up the bag and inverts it. Nothing falls out. She turns it inside out around the side of the bulge. It's a lining inside. Sure enough, there seems to be something hidden inside it. Clearly someone cut it open and then sewed it back together again. I rip the seam open and take out the object inside the bag's lining. There's a little box in my hand with a work ID reading special invitation. I hand the device to Graza. She fiddles with it for a moment and doesn't seem to find any issues with it. She takes a small slip of paper out from behind the ID. Oh, is this like a make good use of it, okay? Oh, but somebody else has a contact inside the Girard group. It's probably AK-12 then. I sense that this card is definitely going to come in handy, so I tuck it into my pocket and wait for the presentation to begin. If you have any hecklers, please let me know. I will deal with them swiftly.
確かにイグラの目を盗んで抜け出したけどさ、こんな日に遅刻するなんてあなたらしくないわ。
Oh, you know, she had some
申
situations.
し訳ございません。不安要素を取り除きに行っておりました。招かれざる客がお嬢様の研究に分不相応に関心を向けていました。またそういう連中が。ご苦労様、イグラ。きっと私の成果を盗もうとしたに違いないわ。
Those damn low lives.
でもそれ
An unexpected visitor interrupts her.
これはオルフェルーネ。
It's so awful every time I have to look at it. The fact that it's a different color than your hair as well just makes it even worse.
チマーマンおじさま。
Is your
こ
uncle?
んばんは。チマーマン様。
Yeah, you better hide her behind you. Also, can you fix his fucking facial here, please? Can you dab him up a little bit, please? For all of our sakes.
まさかリュウリックが財団に黙って不義理を働いていたとは誰も思うまい。辛い日々。
To think that Rurik was behind all those awful things. It's such a shame. What a rat. Also, this guy wasn't suspicious at all. I want to put that out there. He was like working with Nofma. He's the fucking like uncle of Girard. And everybody was like, yeah, don't worry, bro, he's on our side. Like, okay, come on. Come on. Stop being ridiculous here. The fact that he orchestrated Rurik's death as well is like, he's just gonna show up in front of like his niece and be like, yeah man, that was so sad what Rurik did and all that terrible stuff that he did. And his very deserved death. Like, wow. I can't believe he would do these things. It's a good thing a just hero outed him and got him killed, right?
例えば、お前の研究が財団を揺るがすやもしれぬと見ている者もいる。
That's like the subtle way of saying, so like, you know, be very careful about what you say in this presentation.
お嬢様は純粋に学術のために研究を行っています。政治やビジネスに左右されるものではありません。
もちろん、そういった精神は尊重されるべきです。だが世の中は純粋なものほど脆い。
だからこそ守られるべきです。
面白い。しかし守るのにも力とリソースがいる。ジラードグループの現在の立場ではそれは難しいでしょう。
Just like the subtle shit talking is brilliant. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like this is gonna sound weird, like early Game of Thrones dialogue where you'd have two of like the smarter characters in the room. You know, like those conversations between Varys and Littlefinger? Like whenever there's two spy masters in the room, they'll usually kind of talk shit, but they'll do it subtly. They won't like reveal their hand all the time. It's kind of like that. I just love that kind of dialogue. It's like, we can't say exactly what we mean, but we can kind of poke at each other a little bit.
じきに嵐が訪れる。あなただけでは嵐を守りきれないでしょう。賢明な判断を期待していますよ。
ご忠告感謝ですが、私の選択は常に一つ。
The journalists around me begin to disperse as their interest ebbs. Once things around me settle down, I head to a corner and take out the work ID labeled Special Invitation.
ここで使うのか。
While that scary third gen doll's already warned me about this, it seems I'll have to disregard her advice. Hell yeah. If Project Eden is really going to begin in 2 days, like Orpheloon said, I'll need to figure out what exactly this project is about within those 2 days. Currently, my situation is like being adrift in a boundless ocean. I need to seize on anything I can find, even if it's just a little plank of driftwood. Metaphor.
こちらが記者会見の待機所となります。ここでお待ちください。
This is like the fucking, like, building in robots where Big Weld fucking has the giant chair. Like the big windows on both sides. Upgrades, people, upgrades. That's what it's all about. Although the press conference hasn't begun yet, I can tell I'm the only one who doesn't belong here. All the journalists here seem to know each other. They're sitting at pre-arranged seats and are whispering to each other. I turn and realize that the other guy is speaking to me.
そう警戒するな。お互いあのお嬢様の独壇場の賑やかし要員だからな。
そうですね。
Yeah, totally, man.
株は買ったか。
株？
ああ。まさか買ってないのか？
Me when I insider trade. If you don't pull out your phone and open up like a fucking stock trading app in the next minute, I will be very disappointed in you. That's like free money right there. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Orpheloon shows up on time. However, there's a hint of distaste on her face compared to how she looked at the presentation just now. While she retains the same haughty attitude, her gaze keeps sweeping the audience, as though she's looking for something. Igla stands faithfully by her side with prim and alert expression on her own face. Just locking eyes with the commander like across the distance. Ugh. After the host announced the beginning of the conference, the journalists around me all raised their hands. The questions are all meticulously crafted, just like what that man from before said. Each syllable from Orpheloon's lips will move the market needles, influencing the position of the Girard Group in the industry and the market. What of Orpheloon herself? Did she memorize an utterly boring script before the press conference started, just like she was doing on the rooftop balcony this afternoon, rehearsing the answers to potential questions? And what about me? Someone gave me this ID. What did they want me to find, or rather, what did they want me to change? Orpheloon stands to one side. She seems relieved. Meanwhile, her eyes are still sweeping the venue, searching for something. Nobody else is raising their hand. I already know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be glorious. Yep, there it is. Everyone turns to look at me in surprise. Right as she's about to leave, Orpheloon stops and turns to look at me. A hint of surprise crosses her eyes. Right now, the doll is just like fucking staring at me with like laser eyes. Orpheloon ignores the host's attempts to stop her and takes a few steps forward. Eagle immediately tenses up, but Orpheloon gestures to her to relax.
少し前に簡単なインタビューをさせていただいたと思うのですが、そこで私はあなたが研究している植物と似たようなものを見たと言いました。その名は
The name of the plant is Collapse Epiphyllum. These plants have the ability to absorb and release collapse particles that have been sighted in the red zones. Seems to have been deliberately concealed by someone. I haven't been able to learn about them from the URNC authorities or the Girard Group's publicly available literature. But after hearing your presentation, I noticed a lot of similarities between the two. What I'd like to know is, are these collapse epiphyllums linked to the plants you're studying? Was Project Eden founded on this technology? As I ask my question, the host is already speaking into the walkie-talkie in his hand. Shortly afterwards, several Girard Group security personnel enter the room and swiftly approach my position. Orpheloon's hands tighten around the microphone she's holding. She seems to be hesitating. All I can do is follow the guards and prepare to depart. Several long seconds later, Orpheloon holds out a hand to stop the guards.
私の研究に興味があるの？株価とか市場とかそういうのじゃなくて？
はい。私は科学者としてのあなたを知りたい。ジラードグループの令状や若き天才という看板ではなく。
やっぱりあなたは他の俗物とは違うと思ってたわ。
So you wouldn't happen to know about all those clones that are being made and killed in like laboratory environments,
お
would
嬢
you?
様。
Igla follows closely behind Orphalune and whispers into her ear. After realizing her faux pas, Orphalune quickly resumes her previous attitude.
本日はご来場いただきありがとうございました。
I thought we were gonna like crash the whole party and reveal what they've been doing, but I guess it's not recorded, so... Or maybe it is, I don't know how this works. Before the host can continue, Orphalune grabs me by the sleeve and drives me backstage. After going behind the curtains, Orphalune warily glances outside. After ensuring that we will not be interrupted, she continues speaking to me in an excited voice.
フィラムの生態まで知ってるの？
You actually know about the operating principles of a collapsed epiphyllum.
同僚でも知ってる人はそんなにいないのに。じゃあ私のやりたいことも分かってるわよね？
いえ。
やっぱり待って、心の準備ができてなかった。そうね、こうしましょう。あなたの質問何でも答えるわ。でもそれは今じゃないし、俗物たちの前で話すことでもない。明日独占インタビューを手配してあげる。それまでに聞きたいことまとめてきなさいよね。
Just win, just show up and win. Every time. I was probably about like 2 seconds away from being thrown off the fucking balcony. Orphalune waves to me with a satisfied look on her face, then turns to leave. Igla follows behind her, but before she goes, she shoots me one final warning look. I'm going to kill you.
20分早めに来られたのですね。
はい。兵士にとってとても大事な取材ですので。
早すぎると迷惑になる可能性は考慮しなかったんですね。
At least someone with a lack of precise planning in their life would allocate excessive time in their scheduling to avoid lateness. And get the fuck out of here with that. Having someone like this be like your bodyguard and aide would be the most annoying fucking thing on the planet. You showed up 2 seconds late? What the fuck? That's fucked up. You need to change this immediately. Forgot to floss your teeth today? You need to change yourself immediately. The way you are now is completely unacceptable.
これほどインタビューを楽しみにしているお嬢様は見たことがあり、どうしてあなたにこれほどの興味が湧いたのか。
Don't look at me like that.
私にもわかりません。
Don't squish your like second pair of eyebrows at me like that.
ええ。そしてそういった不埒な輩を遠ざけるのが私の役目です。お様のオフィスになります。
You trying to suggest something then? The sound of something shattering comes from inside, followed by a panicked yelp.
イグラ助けて。この機械全然言うこと聞かない。
We rush in to find Orphalune standing in front of a complex-looking device. The interior of the room is a mess, and the floor is covered in glass shards and a toppled test tube rack.
お嬢様。
Igla rushes forward and swiftly clears up the mess on the ground. Her movements are fast and precise, as though she's long used to such scenarios.
ようこそ私の実験室へ。このオルフェルーネ・ジラードが直々に出迎えたのだから光栄に思いなさい。コーヒー飲む？私が入れてあげてもいいわよ。お嬢様。大丈夫、一人でできるわ。子供扱いしないで。
では、いただきます。
え、いいの？
断る理由がありません。
今までの人はなんやかんや断ってたのに。
Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Orphalune seems surprised that I said yes. For some reason, it makes me panic a little.
失礼ですが、コーヒーメーカーを使用されたことは？
イグラからいろいろ教わったわ。
Orphalune confidently heads over to the drinks counter, and Eagle's expression grows tense. However, she merely keeps her distance. It seems she wants to see if Orphalune can actually pull off the task on her own.
ではラテで。
Orphalune nods, then heads over to the fridge before taking out a carton of milk and dumping it into the coffee machine.
オルフェルーネさん、そこはミルです。
ああ、また忘れた。これ豆入れるとこだったわよね。開発部の連中もっとわかりやすく設計。
I doubt their R&D division built this coffee machine.
今度こそ覚えたわ。
After carefully pondering the situation, Orphalune finally manages to add the milk to the right compartment. Right after that, she engages the grinder. After some humming, the coffee powder sprays out of the nozzle.
これでどう？
ええ、大丈夫です。
次は。
Just as Orphalune is about to put the ground coffee under the tamper, the coffee machine suddenly starts up without any warning, spraying the ground coffee powder everywhere. Most of it ends up on Orphalune's brand new lab coat. After seeing Orphalune's predicament, Igla sighs, but her eyes are filled with a doting kindness. She quickly steps up to take the various implements from Orphalune's hands.
手が滑っただけよ。ちょっとミスっただけじゃない。
True. That's true. It's everybody else's fault.
どうぞ。お嬢様がわざわざご用意されたコーヒーです。
Totally.
入れたのイグラでしょ。
Nah.
お嬢様の指示で入れたのですから。実質お嬢様が入れたも同然。とにかく飲んでみて。
いただきます。
Take the coffee, sip from the cup. It's really good.
美味しい。
当たり前でしょ。私は一番いい。
It stuck up like the first half hour of the hour interview. However, I don't see anything sinister up here. In fact, a verdant expanse of greenery spreads before me. The flourishing vegetation looks especially vigorous under the sunlight, and a little rainbow arcs through the spray of the irrigation sprinklers. Orphalune stands to the side, looking up the plants before her with a gaze akin to that of a proud parent.
見て、これが楽園計画のゆりかごよ。今リビウの実験畑を埋め尽くしてる植物の種は全部ここで生まれたの。
あなたは植物そのものだけでなく、植物がこの世界を変える可能性にロマンを感じているのでしょ。
そのありがとう。やっと私を分かってくれる人が現れた。
正直な感想を述べたまでです。
Look at the plants on the test plot. After being exposed to the radioactive particles, their leaves slowly open and soft buds emerge at the end of their stems. This is followed by the buds blooming one after another, revealing flowers that look like they came out of some fever dream. The colors of the petals are like these sprinkler rainbows, changing color with the angle of observation. The instrument displays indicate that the particle density is falling as the flowers bloom. The plants be eating radiation and shit. Just as the flowers fully blossom, Orphalune presses another button. Ooh. This is my zoom in button. Are you building a fucking halo ring? What is this? That is another halo. Sorry, what? It looks like it's connected to some kind of energy collection device. The monument of all of our sins. The moment Orphalune presses that button, a flare of light fills the greenhouse, following which a holographic display comes to life. Its contents constantly shift, like it's showing off the development process of a large future city. The scene goes from a set of radiated ruins to a series of high-rise buildings skyrocketing from the ground. Dense green forests spreading between the buildings until they cover the entire globe.
見た？これが楽園計画の導く未来よ。 今見たホログラムデモンストレーションで消費した電力は1メガワット時。すべて植物が放射線を吸収したことによって生まれたエネルギーよ。私が作った品種は地中の装置を介して直接発電施設とつながってるわ。
Okay, well, they make radiation into power as well. Do not let the oil industry find this person. She will not survive.
楽園計画が順調に進めば、リビウ周辺の実験畑だけでも毎日5000メガワット時の電力が賄えるわ。それがどういうことか。
リビウ全体の消費電力に等しい。
そう。
As I listen to Orphelin's explanation, I'm reminded of Persica's remolding pattern technology. But if this is just a recreation of the technology Persica was using, then the so-called Project Eden doesn't seem particularly harmful. But is that really all? Is everything she told me today really the truth? Orphelin doesn't seem to have realized my suspicions and continues speaking.
今公表されているのは第一段階、すなわち植物による放射線除去。でもいずれは新しい生態系を築いてリビウの再生どころか世界中の環境改善も夢じゃない。汚染エリアのコーラプス粒子濃度は大幅に低下し、グリーンエリアとホワイトエリアのエネルギーコストも削減されるわ。
そんな辛い経験をされているのに、なぜ戻ろうと思うのですか？
あの時見たのよ。
お嬢様。
And just as Igla is about to stop Orphelin from speaking, her communicator suddenly rings. She frowns and glances down at it, but in the end she turns away to take the call.
かしこまりました。
どうしたの？
申し訳ございません。緊急な用事です。何かあればすぐ私にお知らせください。何？
There's clear worry in Eagle's voice, and the concern in her eyes is apparent as she looks at Orphelin.
わかったわかった。はい。
Eagle turns to look at me, and that fleeting gentleness is gone.
編集長、本日はありがとうございました。引き続き部をわきまえた行動をお心がけください。お嬢様の身に何か起きればすぐ私の方に連絡が行きます。
Based on my conversation with Orphelin today, she doesn't seem to know anything about Paradius. Her understanding of collapsed epiphyllums remains at an application level. Her answers to my questions today also seem sincere enough. Based on her performance today, she doesn't strike me as someone who's given to putting on false pretenses. If she's really telling the truth, then is Paradius using her research and controlling events in Lviv from the shadows? I find myself at a loss over whether I should believe what she just said.
オルフェルーナさん、最後に一つ。
ええ、いいわ。
just straight up throw it out
こ
there.
の研究で壁に当たったことはありますか？
壁？確かに他の人間から技術援助を受けたことはあるわ。親友のチルロビグ、グループの科学者、それから開発部のバカたち。けれど全体の構想、仮説、理論モデルの提唱から研究所の設立まで全部私一人の力よ。信じてくれないかもしれないけど、私
Orphelin pauses again, then takes a deep breath before continuing.
真理を見たわ。
Huh?
真理？
ええ。あの時目の前に真理が広がって、今私が理解しているすべてがあの時見たものなの。やっぱり変よね。今のオフレコでお願いね。
わかりました。
While I don't quite understand what she's trying to say, I nod obediently, then begin packing up and prepare to leave. Before leaving, I bid Orphelin farewell. She waves and watches me leave. While I still find it hard to trust anyone at the moment, I'm starting to believe Orphelin is truly unaware of Paradisus' plans. Something about that lady, Sheila Vague, whom Orphelin and Igla mentioned, bothers me. From what Orphalun said about her, she sounds like a pretty important figure and she's involved with Project Eden to some extent. Most importantly, I don't think just anyone could get Igla away from Orphalun's side, especially since I, whom Igla clearly didn't trust, would be with Orphalun. Assuming Orphalun really is innocent, could this Chilo Vig be the one pulling the strings?
待って。2班から報告。武装勢力がここに接近中よ。
Oh, well that's kind of funny. The enemy squad is well prepared, engaged with caution. I don't like it. That was threatening. The way that dinner gate turned towards me got me scared. Oh. Hey yo, you wanna stop at the hotel? Yo, what hotel? Is this like the interrogation room? Like what the fuck is this? It's probably like a store or something. You buy like a little restaurant, but there's no tables. You just eat it on the chair while staring people down from the other side. There's only one actual table. That's pretty funny. A lot of plants going on. That's pretty cool. I'm really getting like New Mombasa vibes from this place. Well, a lot of it's just the futuristic architecture. It looks kind of like Forerunner architecture, the way it's like, you know, like the Halo. The way just like the lines carved in the metal, but it looks like kind of old, kind of rusted. That and like the outside looks unfinished. Like there are a bunch of flat planes and you can see sort of out. There's also like unfinished textures in the distance. It looks like I'm out of bounds on like Halo 2. On like the remastered graphics. You playing dice? Nice. Oh, that's what a manacle is. It's the little like chain things you put around your arms. So you trap people in, I see. The chair is covered in various complicated buttons and indicator lights. Its surface is made of some kind of black material that looks cold and hard. What happened to Vorkuta Mason? Alva has been stripped of all her equipment and bound to the chair. Oh. See, I was wondering what happened to you. Now I know. Several lab-coated marionette doll researchers are working around Alva. One researcher carefully adjusts the cables coming from Alva, ensuring there's a good connection to the equipment. Another researcher carefully studies the data on the screen, constantly taking notes. Yet another researcher is holding a tablet PC, but a closer inspection reveals that they are actually playing a game. Suddenly, the sound of heavy metal door opening shatters the lab's silence. Yo. What's up? Igla's stride is even. I get it, she's fancy. Fuck off. Her gaze coldly sweeps through the room and instantly locks onto the researcher who's playing solitaire in the corner. Her lips curl with an almost undetectable disgust, but she maintains her composure. In response to Igla's question, a figure slowly rolls out of the shadows on a swivel chair. She has a cup of hot coffee in one hand while she is stirring with a spoon in the other. The murky coffee has so much sugar in it that it's practically solid. Her smile is bright and sinister, her eyes are wide, but there's a mania in them. Ugh. So manic that she's glitching out the screen. Tashila Vig tilts her head back, finishes her coffee in one gulp, and spits it all back out. These poor fucking things, man. You give androids human emotions and then just treat them like shit for no reason. She says that. She's like trying not to like scream inside.
You-
Finding that box with like a clone in it will definitely help with the fucking plant research, I'm sure. Don't plants already absorb radiation to some degree? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Don't quote me on that. If that really is a thing, you can just inject like the plants with like steroids or something until they get stronger and absorb more radiation.
気をつけてね。防壁の突破に失敗したらこの子自壊しちゃうかもしれないから。そうなったらお手上げだよ。
Game over,
操
man.
作を始めてください。その反応は予想外です。何を笑っているのですか？
Why are you smiling? That's not very refined of you.
お前の無力さを。
They could kill you at any time, you know?
私のメンタルへのハッキングに失敗したんだろう。成功していたら私を起動させたりなんかしない。
あなたは今敵を挑発していい立場にないことを自覚していますか？これからあなたに起こることをぜひ楽しみにしてください。
I actually disagree. If you're gonna die, you might as well rage bait until like you might as well take like the enemy's pride with you.
遊んでもらえるんじゃないかな。
Our first form of torture, we will be listening to the newest Drake album at max volume on repeat for 10 hours. It's not too late to give in and tell us what you know.
もう私を苦しめることはない。
Wow, you're so cool. Bring out the hot irons. After her brief surprise, Alva quickly gets her emotions under control and faces Igla again. There is a look of what could almost be admiration in Igla's eyes as she gazes at Alva. She takes a step back, her hand gently caressing Alva's cheek. What is happening here? It's a gesture so tender it could have come from a lover, but it's a chill down Alva's spine. I was about to say, what? Huh?
それよりもあなたのパートナーがあなたを離れて自由を得た事実に対してほっとしているのではありませんか？
Alva's only response is a scornful smile. For some reason, the smile ignites a nameless flame in Igla's neural cloud. The most easily rage-baited fucking doll in the entire world. A massive amount of signals floods through them into Alva's mind. Alva struggles in the darkness with all her might. She can't break free of the bonds which hold her. Oh no. Darkness. My weakness.
構成防壁がダウンしました。あとは好きにしてください。
Oh, well, that was fucking easy.
もう
That's what I'm saying.
長くは持ちません。やるなら早く。
オッケー。
That is not what she said. I just want to put that out there. Sheila Vague gleefully waves her hands. Her eyes are practically shining as she approaches Alva, admiring her like an exotic treasure.
植物もいいけど、私は人形のメンタルをいじるのが大好きなんだ。まるで埋められたお宝を掘り起こすようなこのワクワク感がたまらない。科学の発展に貢献する気になったらいつでも声かけてね、イグラ。
Sheila Vague turns to Alva, her hands gently caressing her still features. Can you stop? That's kind of fucking creepy. Her eyes gleaming with obsessive light.
さて、どうしよっかな。
The surroundings suddenly fill with a burst of noise that approaches her rapidly, as though it's locked onto Alva's presence and closing in on her. As the terrifying sound draws closer, a blinding light suddenly appears before Alva. She reflexively reaches a hand out to block it, but in the next moment, the true extent of the bone-chilling sight around her becomes apparent. No. She is swamped by a tide of monsters, carried away like a reed in a flood. Well, like, what are they gonna do, though? They're gonna bite into your metal body She struggles with all her might, her steely fingers ripping limb after limb away from the Elid's bodies. However, the endless tide feels no pain. They eventually gain the upper hand. Her frame is gouged open by sharp claws and teeth. Her circuits are slashed apart. The sparks from her power systems char blackened, smoking chunks into the horde. It doesn't stop them in the least. Ugh. The creatures bury her in the abyss. Ugh. She doesn't feel pain all day, growing fatigue. She's getting a little tired, I'd imagine. Well, is there like an emotional support person in the sea? Just as Alpha is about to doze off, a mighty force suddenly grabs her arm and pulls her out of the Elid horde. And then she shoots her. Just trolls her before she dies. Oh, they made it scary by putting a fog effect over the screen. That's very clever from them. Angie pulls out a detonator and tosses it to Alpha. Better not fumble that shit. The Elid horde has already swamped their previous position. Alpha presses the detonator without hesitation, and an explosion erupts. A wave of searing heat washes over her from behind and sends the surrounding sand and dust flying. Well shit, that was easy. Good job guys, great teamwork. Me when I use my schizophrenia powers to imagine people to help me overcome the demons in my mind or whatever the fuck is happening right now. She's not even like responding, she's just kind of sitting there. Like, yeah, okay. Whatever you say, boss. I really don't like these noises of people like slurping shit in the background. It's very fucking... ugh. She sees Angie. She's fucking dead. Again. Oh, never mind. Angie is standing close by, facing away from her, and she struggles valiantly against the Elids. Angie tries to struggle to her feet, but the Elid's sharp claws have already pierced deep into her body. Alright, next person, come up, please. Come help out. Can you stop slurping in the background? It's making this very poignant scene. Very irritating. Very disgusting. Oh, there really is a train. Nice. That's epic. Throw her off the train. The doll with the machine gun winks, but her weapon never stops firing, cutting down one mob of Elids after another. And then she shoots Angie. Well, now that we have that mystery cleared up, oh, whatever you say, weird ass. The force of the shove sends Alva rolling over the floor of the cabin. The door immediately closes and the train begins to move. Alva rushes over to the door and pounds on it. Through the glass, she sees the doll who calls herself Imbla walking slowly towards Angelia. Meanwhile, more and more Elids rush towards them. They are soon buried. I'd like to remind everybody that RPK did nothing wrong. Ever in the first game. With how nice RPK was in that like little section, you would almost forget that she killed Angelita and then wore her like skin as like a fucking skin suit. You would forget that like small detail. The researchers in white are working on the lab instruments and recording data. They don't seem to have noticed that she's woken up. Elva frowns because she sees Igla standing in the middle of the lab. She doesn't know how long she's been unconscious. After all, there's no way to judge the passing of time in level 2, and her internal chronometer doesn't work anymore. While Elva is pondering this, she suddenly notices a human soldier rushing in from outside the lab. Yeah, tell me why your raggedy ass looks like that. The guard gulps, his throat shifts visibly as he swallows. He does not answer Igla's question right away. Igla's frown deepens. A flicker of unease passes through her eyes, as though she already knows his news is not good.
AK-15 が封鎖区域を突破したのですか？
いえ、あの人形は今お嬢様が。
Hearing that key phrase causes Igla to instantly lose her composure. Fueled by a rare savagery, she seizes the man by the collar and lifts him off the ground. He's about to be launched into one of the pods. The man frantically tries to explain himself, like he's pleading for his life. Just as the guard is teetering on the verge of panic, Igla suddenly reaches for the pistol at her waist. It looks like it's been custom made, and its gold-plated body shimmers with a faint blue light. Really? Okay, there's such a thing as too much drip. Where you're just overdoing it, okay? I mean, it's drip or drown, but sometimes you can drown in the drip. Igla defies everyone's expectations by turning and taking aim at Shilovik, who's lazily spitting in her chair. Good job. Good job. I knew I liked you. It's primitive black powder, thick gun smoke. Bleh. Gun smoke? Is that a reference to cock and ball torture in GFL 2? Chiloveg's face disintegrates into a crimson mist, with a massive impact sending her entire body crashing to the ground. She doesn't even manage to cry out. Her fingers twitch slightly and then she goes limp. Foul-smelling blood oozes from the hole in her head and makes a huge stain on the ground. The guard's eyes go wide as he covers his mouth, desperately fighting the urge to scream. Alright, do it again. As she says this, she snaps her fingers like she's performing a magic trick. In response to her signal, several researchers, like the one who cleaned up this coffee spill before her, promptly appear from a corner of the lab. They begin clearing away the corpse and bullet stains. Their movements are swift and practiced, as though they've rehearsed this countless times before, or maybe they've had to perform this procedure innumerable times before.
あなたを買いかぶりすぎたようです。もう一度言います。あなたの下劣な計画に協力しているのはジラードグループ。ひいてはお嬢様の利益のためです。
覚えてるに決まってるじゃん。それにそんなのどうでもいいっつうの。
My brain, I swear on the name of science that my brain is perfectly normal. I'm sure. Guys. You got like popcorn in that little tube you're in? That'll be a good time. Just sitting there on the side watching this all play out. She shoots one last icy look at Shilovik before turning to leave. She doesn't bother with affecting elegance. Her priority is returning to Orpheloon and the lab post-haste. Her footsteps fade into the distance and vanish. All that remains In her wake is gun smoke and the stench of blood.
ほっと余裕ないんだから。ね
Why is the music so sinister? After Igor leaves, Sheila Vague jumps out of her chair. She spins around happily like she's putting on a show in this lab, which has only marionette dolls in it.
それをあんたは自力で抜け出しちゃうんだから。実はさ、イグラよりあんたの方が第三世代人形っぽく思うんだよね。
Thanks, man. that means a lot coming from you.
サマンサショーはやっぱ天才だよ。生涯の大半を軍事産業に費やしてきたのに、いざ人形に転向したら、あのパンドラとあんたを作っちゃうんだから。あの才能が羨ましいよ。
Sheila Vague heaves a theatrical sigh, her face falling into gloom before brightening suddenly with a huge smile.
でもどんな天才でも死んだら終わり。最後まで生き残った者だけが勝つんだよ。
She indicates herself with her right thumb. Despite her beaming smile, there's a frigid edge to it.
あの天才たちほどの頭脳はなくても、私は真理に触れるまで生きる。あんたはそのための布石だよ、アルバちゃん。
Okay. The lack of reaction is just... just talking to like a brick wall. Sheila Vague bares her teeth in a grin as she knocks on the observation window, like she was rapping on a pet's fishbowl.
さて、続けようか。大丈夫。今回はちゃんと意識が戻らないようにするから。
The last thing she sees before she passes out is Sheila Vague's playful, excited expression, and then she plunges into darkness. This time, she doesn't know if she will awaken again.
やっと終わった。帰ったら一日中
Speaking of plunging into darkness and never knowing if you'll awaken again.
研究所を襲った連中は
撃退されました。
撃退。でもここに警備は。
私たちが撃退しました。
あなたたちが。
とにかくここは危険です。早く逃げましょう。
Moving on from that conversation, this place is extremely dangerous.
さあ、行きましょう。
A signal for Kolfni to take hold of Orphalun. This time, Orphalun obediently follows as Kolfni starts moving. But just as we reach the doorway, intense gunfire erupts from below, shots and explosions coming one after another.
敵は研究所に強襲を仕掛けるつもりです。
分かった。できるだけ食い止めて、今からオルフェヌーネを連れて離脱する。
After passing through long corridors and descending flight after flight of stairs, we finally reach the air raid shelter entrance that Orphalun mentioned.
通過時招待から報告です。あの第三世代人形が戻ってきました。
イグラ、早かったわね。
到着まであと3分。このままでは鉢合わせしてしまいます。
Blow her car up. Just deal with her right now.
もう大丈夫ですよ。襲撃は終わりました。
あなたたちどうして武器なんか持ってるの？
We're active journalists, we're not passive journalists. Instead of, reacting to stories and writing articles about things that are happening, we create the things that are happening. And having all these guns and this body armor is important to that. Why have to wait for tragedy occur to write about it when you can create the tragedy?
近頃ご信用に射撃を学んだことがありまして。
I don't think she bought that.
そういうもの。
Oh, she did. Lobao.
あなたたち本当に記者なの？
Yeah, totally.
さっきからのやりとりどう見ても。
A sudden deafening crash interrupts Orphalun mid-sentence. The security shelter's security door is blasted open with a massive hole. The tremendous impact twists and warps the heavy steel door. As the dust settles, Igla's figure appears in the doorway. Igla raises her gun, aiming it directly at my head. Step by step, she walks slowly toward me.
ご歓談の最中に申し訳ありませんが、今すぐお嬢様から離れてください。これ以上お嬢様に不快な思いをさせるものなら強行手段に出ます。一番必要とされている時のおそばにいられなかった。私は自分が許せません。どうか罰を。
Don't actually do that. If somebody says that, they're probably a little bit, they're one of those people. So you don't give them the pleasure. Let them live with the guilt.
ただのかすり傷じゃない。どうってことないわ。
お強いのですね。
Your strength moves me.
傷跡が残らぬよう最良の処置をいたします。
Igla rises from the floor in one fluid movement. Her gaze settles on us again. With such icy, murderous intent, it sends a chill down my spine.
ファルベングループの回し者ですか。でしたら平和的な商談といきましょう。いくら受け取ったのかは存じませんが、ジラードグループはその10倍を出す用意があります。ホワイトエリアで一生遊んで暮らせるだけの金額なはずです。不満はないでしょう。
イグラ、誤解よ。この人たちに助けられたの。
お嬢様、どうか私にお任せください。そしてこういう不埒な輩の還元の真偽は私が見定めます。さて、お嬢様を解放する条件は、それともお嬢様の目の前であなた方を八つ咲きにするべきですか。
オルフェルーネさんの話を聞いてみてはいかがですか。私が信じられなくてもこの状況を見てください。もし襲撃者の味方だったら、あなたが来る前にオルフェルーネさんを連れて逃げています。こんなところに残る必要があるのですか。
お嬢様を助けるふりをして信頼を勝ち取るためとも考えられます。
Categorically.
そんなことして何になるの。
この人たちは命をかけて守ってくれた。それに私の人を見る目は確かよ。私が気に入ったのだから間違いないわ。
Simple as. There you have it. Orphan lifts her chin proudly, though the tension in the air makes her unconsciously clutch the hem of her clothes.
わかりました。お嬢様に免じて釈明の機会を与えて差し上げましょう。
How noble of you.
なぜ武器を持った戦術人形が付き添っているのですか、編集長。
About that.
研究所の外でこそこそ隠れているネズミもそちらの手のものなのでしょう。
God fucking damn it, 404, absolute fucking just troll job on your part. Literally the worst team ever. Just this new 404 without the UMPs is just like a constant source of disappointment.
私は自分の目的で動いています。どこの勢力にも所属していません。
お嬢様、お聞きになりましたか。やはり信用できない相手です。
Unlike you, you're pure of heart. Not working with any shady factions.
決してもよろしいですね。
でも
近頃の情勢からオルフェルーネさんに危険が及ぶかもしれないと思ったので戦術人形を連れ込みました。
You're actively just shitting them bad information. That is such a lie.
オルフェルーネさんは助かりました。まさか
Me when I lie and gaslight the people who are trying to kill me.
ありませんよね。
もしかして最初から私を守るために。
Yeah, totally. She wasn't thinking about killing you when you were giving your thing at all.
はい、それも目的の一つです。もう一つは
本当に聞きたい質問。
I ignore the rapier pointed at me.
あなたは確か研究にあたって技術援助を受けたとおっしゃいましたね。
Oh, it's all coming out.
それは誰から受けたのか教えていただけませんか。
お嬢様にそのような質問にお答えする義務はありません。重ねて警告しますが、私が未だ攻撃を開始していないのは
I see an unmistakable anger in Igla for the first time. I must have hit a nerve.
指揮官、イグラの頭部に狙いを定めました。いつでも撃てます。
I just realized something. How do they have like a sniper team like have a bead on like her position if we're in an air raid shelter? Are they in the vents right now planning to shoot her?
あなたが取材しに来たのは本当に私の研究に興味あるから。
はい。
でも編集長なんかじゃない。
What do you mean? Nah.
はい。違います。ですが研究には本当に興味があります。ただその理由はあなたの研究がとある邪教と関係があるからです。シルロビグもその一員かもしれません。
邪教？
エピフィラムのことを思い出してください。粒子の媒体となる植物など自然発生するわけがありません。あれは何者かが明確な意志を持って作ったものです。汚染エリアでコーラップス粒子を拡散し、人々を傷つけるために。そんなことができる人間、あの植物の由来、本当に何も知らないのですか？
Just rub salt in the wound. Holy shit.
そんなこと。いや。
Orphalute stares at me with wide eyes, then looks away. As the heiress of the Girard group, it's impossible for her to be completely uninformed. She tries to deny it, but her nature won't allow her to lie.
そこまで。昼食のお時間の前にお嬢様の食欲を削ぐ存在は抹消せねばなりません。
Hiko points her gun at me.
編集長、まずはあなたからです。
待って。シルロビグが邪教に所属しているかもしれないって話よね。人体実験なんてそんなの許されていいわけがない。でもあの子からは植物学に対する情熱を感じたの。
She's definitely passionate. I wouldn't call her sincere.
たとえ後ろめたい事情があったとしても知識自体に善悪はないわ。
確かに科学に善悪はないかもしれません。しかし逆に言うと、制御する術を失えば悪魔の道具になりうる。そして誤った方法で正しい結果は導き出せない。エピフィラムが吸収したコーラップス粒子が何に使われるのか、あなたに制御できますか？
Don't worry, this research is... Don't worry, this research is all good. It's all being used for good purposes. And then you try to shift around to hide the, like, zombie-making factory in the background.
あなたの研究がどれほどの被害をもたらす可能性があるか理解していますか？
Orphalute clenches her fists, not daring to look at me. She turns and issues an order to Igla.
イグラ、命令よ。今すぐその事件のことを調べて徹底的に。私の研究を悪用する奴がいたら。
今ですか？
Like right now?
そうよ。この研究はより良い未来へ導くためのものなのよ。
ですが、この者たちは
返してあげて。私の研究は絶対に悪用させない。
Okay. I give you the thumbs up. We can leave now. I cannot be stabbed to death, please. I don't want to be stabbed to death. Especially by a rapier, the gayest kind of sword there is. She reaches out and forces Igla, who had pointed the gun at me again while speaking, to lower her weapon. Igla's just like slowly raising her weapon, but every time it gets to the top, she like has to force it back down again. I actually really like her response to the whole thing when she learned her research was being used wrong. I feel like there are a lot of dumber plots that would have had her just be like, oh shit, we need to drop the whole research now. But yeah, it makes sense. Like, you learned it and it can be used for good, you might as well keep it. Despite how it was, despite how the research was attained. At the end of the day, you have the knowledge now. You might as well use it for good.
ご無礼をお許しください、チルロビグ様。
Igla inclines her head slightly as it suddenly lashes out with a kick, sending a marionette doll flying straight into the wall with brutal speed.
いいね。こういう八つ当たりの仕方好きだよ。私の脳天をぶち抜くよりよっぽど面白い。
率直に申し上げます。今まで再三強調しましたが、今回が最後です。私たちの協力関係にお嬢様は関係ありません。
Interesting. Writing this down.
あのジジイが守りたいのは自分だけ。お嬢様なんか最初からどうでもいい人なんだよ。
Igla tilts her head slightly and stares at Chilovig without expression. Huh? In the next instant, with a movement too fast to see, she grips Chilovig by the throat and lifts her into the air.
一緒に楽園計画を完遂させることがジラードが返り咲く唯一のチャンスってわけ。オルフェルーネ
Why are you allowing this little snake to whisper in your ear?
よくわかってるじゃないか。
As Alva freezes in confusion, AK-15 suddenly speaks, her voice cutting cleanly through her thoughts. Her tone is completely different from before, cold and sharp, as if she has become someone else.
AK-15
Igla has such like a fascination with AK-15, even like the VR universe. She has her as like an avatar. She's her like fucking Minecraft skin. No, it couldn't be Angie's fault for being retarded. This is all your fault, actually. Oh no. She started doubting her inner self. Oh no. The physical manifestation of turmoil and dark thoughts. This is so sad. The doppelganger Alva is now covered in grotesque scars that crisscross her face like countless knife wounds, hideous beyond words. It's kind of fucked up. Some people just have scars on their face, okay? You can't be saying that about them. And Alva begins to rupture and split apart into waves of eyelids crashing into the ground, snarling as they surge towards her. Can I summon? I use my mental powers to summon. I summon a Kingdom Rush Archer Tower, and it turns into a fucking like tower defense game against all the eyelids. I use my schizophrenia powers to summon good feelings about myself. This is a battle she cannot lose. If she loses, she will be trapped in this illusion forever, never escaping, forever living in pain and self-blame, with no chance of redemption. Our newest torture technique, making people feel depression. Making robots feel depression. She truly is the most advanced scientist in Paradius. She just has to accept the fact that she will never be able to pull Angelia onto that train. That metaphorical train of survival. She will be ushered onto the train by RPG-16 and then expelled from the same train by AK-15, only to start waiting for Angelia's arrival again. How many times has she repeated this cycle? Alva has lost count. She recalls what AK-15 just said. She lowers her head. What she is experiencing here is exactly the same as what she's been doing the past 10 years, going on an endless circle in a place that defies description. Together with the hulking doll, they have wiped out Paradius again and again wherever it appears in their sights. Yet as time goes on, the intelligence they receive leads them to a desperate conclusion. Paradius is reviving in some form, and that revival is accelerating. With her assistance and the support of their former comrades, Alva and Vlemistina have both grown significantly in strength. But even so, the day they can fulfill their former leader's wish seems to be drifting farther and farther away. This place is both a nightmare and a reenactment of reality. Alpha opens her palm, which reveals a small cube. Oh, you have the magical cube with you? I know that's not what it actually is. How funny would that be? Communicate outside of the dream, and then it just explodes. That cube appeared in her hand when she got off the train for the first time. That's the big secret. You have to solve a Rubik's Cube in order to leave the fucking, hell dimension. The cube emits a faint glow. A blurry figure gradually takes shape in front of her. It has been 10 years since she last saw her in this form. Oh right, you have that gangly, disgusting Nido body, don't you? Gross ass.
まさかこんな時まであなたに頼ることになるなんて。私のことが意外？でもここにあるものは全部あなたが作り出したのよ。何かを変えることができたのか。隊長としてアンジェの意志を告げられたのかもわからない。自分が信じられない？人形なんだからそんなこと考えても無駄よ。
I thought I recognized it. This is from GFL 1. I was like, oh man, the noise that's playing, or the song that's playing in the background, it was in Summer Garden of Forking Paths. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I know I'm sure because I just edited that video. And I had to listen to it for like 4 fucking hours because it kept replaying on repeat in the background. It is a really nice, little tune though. Oh, it's weird to hear it here, though. I always think of Irma when the song's on, and the Summer Garden, but what are you gonna do, right? It's probably in a dozen other places reused, but this is the first time I've actually noticed a GFL 1 song being reused in this game. Okay, you did not say all that in those 2 words. Hope restored, humanity restored. You get 5 extra flasks when you sit at the bonfire now. That's epic. Depression cured. Oh, we gonna throw down? Let's go. Alpha begins to split apart, rupturing into hordes. I thought this was gonna be a one-on-one and you call in all your, goons. That's just fucked up. She simply tightens her grip and raises her weapon, aiming it at Alpha. Not her, the other her. That's the secret to curing depression. Just do what you were doing before, but don't have any regrets about it. I said that ironically, but that probably would help a little bit, honestly. Oh, there's wind on this level. That's interesting. Oh, goodbye, buddy. Whee! She is in that mansion. Oh. The carpet, the walls, the furniture, all white. Blend perfectly into the white background. However, if one looks carefully, their shapes can still be discerned through the light and shadow. Right. You guys just stare into this picture real quick. Tell me if you can see what she's talking about. If you look really closely, you can make out a shape here. This does not look like the picture you had earlier. You are lying to me. You're still dead. It's not real. It's not real. Get out of my head. The dead can speak. They're talking to me. I can see dead people. And she simply listens with a smile as 10 years worth of words gush out of Alpha all at once. Oh, and now Kevin's probably Agent J then, right? right? That's who Kevin was. I was wondering who the fuck, I was like, who the fuck is Kevin? I know who Nellie was, but I didn't know who the fuck Kevin was. I was like, I thought that was like a new character or whatever, but no, it's Agent J.
それでもあなたたちはここまで来た。見違えるように頼もしくなって。
These missions just aren't the same these days. Without you charging us in recklessly, getting us encircled and nearly killed every single time. I miss it so much.
ずっといたい。
So we like in heaven right now? Or is she just like coping like with herself and her own like mind? Because that is really sad if that's the case.
やらないで。メンタルをすり減らしてまでこんなシミュレーションをして。
Shout out to the person in the background who was ripping shit up on the piano. My goddamn.
アンジェ、私はどうすれば。諦めたくないけれど、どうすればいいかわかりません。
私も同じよ。
It's really sincere. She's like, well, I don't fucking know what to do.
あなたたちがいる限り悪人どもも好き勝手できないわ。思う存分反逆しなさい。
Oh my god. Point at the screen. She said the thing.
私らしくないことをいっぱい喋ったけど、私は私じゃないしね。でも私が伝えたいこともきっと同じよ。今の私ほど優しく伝えられないかもしれないけど。
アンジェ、話せてよかったです。
I'm so glad I could talk with my physical manifestation of my memories of you.
あなたの防壁を突破するための演算力を逆に利用してこんなことしてると分かったら怒るわよね。あなたの敵。
Having a perfect memory must be sad as shit. Imagine having like a flawless memory and you can remember exactly what somebody was like. You just have like fake conversations with them in your head, like after they like die or whatever. I get it, this is like a morale boost and it's really uplifting. For some reason, I just think it's kind of sad at the same time. She closes her hand. When she opens it again, the cube has transformed into a familiar MP443.
元気でね、アルバ。
You shoot yourself.
さようなら、アンジェ。
Shoot me. Dot dot dot. Dot. Oh, 3 dot dot dots. Oh shit, they're really hyping this up. Alva slowly opens her eyes. Yeah, you finally get out of the, like, matrix, but you're still in like a pod and can't move. Sheila Pig springs up exaggeratedly and scampers to the observation window, pressing her entire face against the glass. Her distorted grin looks eerie and slightly comical. She taps the glass with a finger as if knocking on a fish tank. She suddenly falls back a step, covering her face with one hand, eyes wide. Sheila spins as she talks, making a little gesture beside her temple to convey how mind-blowing she finds the situation, then abruptly freezes. She bends down and presses her face to the window again.
さすがサマンサ賞。おう、そうだった。苦しめちゃってごめんね、アルバちゃん。
Oh, nah, bro, don't worry about that. I got to have a mean conversation with a dead friend, so we're all chill. It's supposed to be a torture device, but like she's just completely like cleared everything up. Completely cured her like depression and her hesitancy. She has it all figured out now. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry for the pain. It's like, she should be paying you.
まさかあの透かした人形があんたのあんな単純な挑発に乗るとは思わないじゃん。出力を最大まで上げたのは私じゃなくてイグラだから。そこんとこよろしく。
Reactive as always.
まあ死すら知らない化け物だから当然か当然か。
It's like that image of the monkey, like, smiling smugly while the tiger is, like, growling at him. It's just fucking... just mogging her by not even saying anything.
私から何を聞き出したい？ボイマスティナと O43 の居場所なら今やお前たちの方が詳しいはず。
そういうのはイグラしか興味ないから。
仲間じゃないのか？
ちょっと違うかな。私たちはただ利害が一致しているだけ。ナゲットとポテトはセットで出てくるでしょ。は、ちょっと違うか。まあそんなもん。
So true.
じゃあお前の志は何だ？
Chilvig snaps her fingers lightly, and her grin reappears. With that gesture, the marionette doll researchers bustling around the lab all freeze, turn, and stare at Alva with hollow eyes. They stand in perfect unison, like soldiers awaiting orders, silently watching her. An oppressive presence.
私は喋るの好きだし、いろいろ知ってるけど、あんたたち反逆正体のことはまだよく分かってないんだよね。あんたたちがパラデウスに対して変質的とも言える恨みを抱いているのはわかる。でもその理由がわからないし。
Her tone grows somber, and a fanatic light blazes in her eyes.
パラデウスのやろうとしていることは現人類が到底たどり着けない領域なんだよ。生命の神秘。
Hold up, shut the fuck up for a second. She throws her arms wide as if embracing the entire world.
進化の奇跡。まるで魔法のようだけど科学そのものなんだ。私と手を組んでくれたらあんたが絶対に叶えたい願いを叶えてあげよう。
願い？
それはね、ただーん、あんたたちのかつての指揮官アンジェリアを。
She drags out each syllable, her voice tantalizing. Yeah, I can see. No, I don't know if this is intentional, but it's funny that they replayed Summer Garden of Forking Paths before this event, because there's a line in that event that goes something to the effect of, "We shouldn't rob death from people." Something like that. There's a speech from the commander about it. They talk about it.
私が生き返るとこ見たでしょ。しかも2度もだよ。
If she becomes anything like you have become, I don't think it's worth it.
楽園計画は人類に変革をもたらす計画。蝶を誘うある花を使って前人未到の新世界へ。誰もが肉体から解き放たれ永遠の命を得られて、誰もが夢を叶えられる無限の可能性を秘めた世界へ。分かってくれた？そろそろ答えを聞かせてほしいな。
それはまた随分と偉大だな。だから O43 を利用して遺跡の扉を開くつもりか。モルスカヤズビズダーを小型化したものを作ったのか。道理で大量のコーラプス粒子が必要なわけだ。遺跡の作り出すあの空間、何に使うつもりだ？
Alva's rapid-fire questions catch Chilove completely off guard.
あんた、は、どうしてそれを知ってるわけ
Chilovig's smile freezes, shock and anger flashing across her face. She rushes to her terminal only to discover the central system firewall has already completely failed. That's when it dawns on her. Alva has infiltrated the servers. She may have read all of the classified data. It's a skill issue, buddy.
どうやらお前は自分が思うほど頭は良くないようだ。私が何のためにここに来たと思ってる。だがお前は一つ、お前なんか小に遠く及ばない。
Actually, like, shivering in silent rage.
残念だけど今まで通りに扱わせてもらうね。メンタル攻撃から生き延びられていつまでその生意気な態度でいられるかな。
A sick smile spreads across her face as she presses her face up close to the glass. Alva no longer hides her fury. She glares at Sheila Vig with open contempt and disgust.
ずっとだ。いつかお前たちパラデウスとジラードが罪の代価を払うまで。特にお前はこの手で頭を引きちぎる。アンジを侮辱したことを後悔させてやる。
Sheila Vig guffaws as if she just heard the funniest joke.
いやー楽しみだよアルバちゃん。
Tries to talk shit twice in a row. Gets shit on twice in a row. Proteus really is just the most L corporation of all time. They're just the most L group ever. Every time they like make a move, they're so haughty and they just lose. Try and do anything, spontaneously combust, rely on everybody else, just lose anyway. Have all the power and connections in the world. You just lose. So they will find a way. A smile freezes on Sheila Vig's face as she stares at Alva in disbelief.
何をした？
Alva answers her with a hint of derision.
さあ
Sheila Vig stands stunned for 3 seconds, then snaps out of it. She rushes back to the terminal, trying to initiate self-destruction, but the system rejects her again and again.
同じ手は二度も通用しない。
That's what I'm saying.
を持ってないのなら早く逃げるの。
用事を済ませたらまた遊び相手になってあげる。
She blows an exaggerated kiss, then turns around and sashays out of the lab without looking back.
出番だよ。ボイマスティナ。
Alpha closes her eyes. There's no panic, no hesitation, just calmness that seems out of place on a prisoner in enemy captivity. Her fingers twitch lightly as if playing a silent melody. Meanwhile, deep beneath Girard Group's facilities, Voimastina makes her final preparations within the labyrinth sewer system. Voimastina is leaning against a damp wall. Before her floats a holographic projection of the Girard Group's underground complex.
あいつ上にいる？
Voimastina nods briefly. She takes a small device from her tactical pack. After a moment of hesitation, she sets it on the ground between herself and Helena without moving closer.
ジャミング装置だ。いざという時に押せ。
Helena stares at the device but doesn't reach for it. One of her metal spheres glides over, lightly prods it as if checking for danger, then carefully carries it back to her. Think about her in like 20 years. Metal sphere things, please grab me a beer from the fridge. Metal spheres, please pick up the remote. Accidentally shoots a fucking laser into your own like house.
あいつどうして逃げなかった？
The question catches Voimastina off guard. She pauses what she's doing and looks at Helena. Something subtle shifts in her eyes.
任務のため。お前のためだ。
The short, direct answer seems to weigh on Helena. She lowers her head and murmurs softly.
あいつ私知らない。あいつ助ける？
ああ。
本当？
Voimastina nods.
だがお前は一緒に来るな。
Helena's eyes widen.
やだ。
ダメだ。
Voimastina shakes her head.
お前を守る余裕はない。
It's like watching a toddler talk to like an inanimate object. This conversation.
ここで待っていろ。アルバを助けたら迎えに来る。
It might honestly be safer for her to go with, genuinely. 3 metal spheres beside her began to rotate slowly, emitting a faint hum. One of the spheres breaks formation and floats up in front of her. Helena reaches out with her small hands, gently cups the sphere, and offers it to Voimastina. Oh, you can just give those to people? Well, thank you. Alright, you're the new favorite. Sorry, Melanie's not in this event. She's fallen down on the totem pole. She takes a deep breath and rolls her shoulders. Her joints crackle softly. She is ready. No one will stop her. She launches upward like a battering ram, smashing through the metal grate in an instant. The entrance is torn open and a shaft of bright light comes pouring down. The light falls on Helena, who has stayed behind on her own. She lifts her head slightly, waiting in silent obedience. They have a fish tank in their bench? That is the hardest flex ever, honestly. Rapid, heavy footsteps echo through the empty corridor. If not for Alva's signal guiding her, Voimastina would never have discovered the secret Critias laboratory hidden inside this glossy, immaculate building. She can't find, nor does she bother to look for, the switch to any hidden door. After confirming the location, she simply smashes through the wall with brute force, revealing the dark passage beyond. Helena's metal sphere follows closely behind. It emits a beam of blue light to scan the passage for traps and surveillance devices. Then it precisely fires several jamming pulses that cripple the electronics along the way. After destroying the automated sentry turrets lining the corridor, she drives a powerful kick into the heavy metal door standing at the far end, producing a deafening crash. Under the tremendous force, the metal door twists and caves inward, nearly tearing free from its frame. The hinges let out an agonized screech, like a cry of pain under unbearable strain. Debris flies, dust fills the air. As the door finally collapses, Voimastina's figure appears in the laboratory entrance, like an unscalable mountain. The moment Voimastina steps into the lab, the once busy marionette dolls abruptly turn toward her in unison, their eyes glowing a terrifying red. Blades and firearms extend from hands once used for research with a whoosh, and the very next second, they all lunge at Voimastina together. At that instant, Helena's metal sphere deploys its full weapon system, transforming into a floating spherical turret. Precise energy beams fire from multiple angles, striking key points on several marionette dolls and opening a path for Voimastina. She grabs one of them, yanks hard, tearing off the arm with a polymer vibration blade attached to it. Without a single pause, she swings the severed limb like a weapon. The limb slams into another doll's head with tremendous force. Its skull explodes instantly, electronic components and oil spraying everywhere. She stands amid the wreckage, her body splattered with synthetic blood and machine oil. Strong as she may be, Voimastina is still covered in wounds. The metal sphere hovers at her side, scanning the remains on the floor, checking for any units that haven't been fully disabled.
大丈夫。全部計画通り。ヘレナは
Alva extracts an auxiliary digit from her hand, then draws a data cable from the back of her neck and plugs it directly into the terminal.
下水道だ。置いてきた。
It's kind of one of those things. There's another part after this. You tell me Helena's in the sewers alone. I can kind of infer what's going to happen to her.
イグラが戻ってくる前にできるだけデータをダウンロードしないと。やっぱり私たちはパラデウスについてあまりにも知らなすぎる。
侵入してからここにたどり着くまで2分42秒費やした。そろそろ敵が来るだろう。今撤退しないと苦戦する。
分かってる。
Alva doesn't waver. On the monitor before her, the data scroll mirrors her flashing eyes.
ここのデータを持ち出すことができれば、素体が破壊されてもお釣りが来る。
分かった。
Thank you. Thank you for your commentary, guys.
次からは
Holy shit, you can actually talk.
こんな無茶な作戦はこれっきりだ。
No. It's like watching a conversation. You know the people who like will text okay after you type like a whole paragraph? It's two of those talking to each other. No words need to be spoken. They're just on the same wavelength.
保証はできないけど努力するよ。この方法が通用するのも多分今回だけ。次捕まったら
次があればな。
あなたがいるから。
ヘレナが待ってる。
終わったらすぐに迎えに行こう。
Or will you? Keyboard as if playing an impassioned piece of music. Oh, here she comes. Suddenly, at this critical moment, a thunderous explosion erupts from outside the door, so loud it drowns out even the blaring alarm. The laboratory walls shudder as if struck by an earthquake. Alva's hands pause for less than half a second before calmly resuming their work. Unlike last time, Alva did not give Chilovig a chance to self-destruct. She could not destroy the data on the computer or wipe the hard drives. There is far too much intelligence here that they need, including the true detailed files of Project Eden.
行ってくる。
Do you really have to aura farm in the corridor outside? Set up the fog machine as you slowly, walk your way in. It's like a fucking WWE entrance.
こんなところでお会いするとは意外ですね。ボイマスティナさん。私たちの対話に重火器は不粋。
So uncivilized. She holsters the pistol and calmly draws the rapier from her waist. Under the lights, the blade gleams with a cold luster.
ようやく全体像を把握できました。アルバさんの作戦には驚かされました。まさか私に捕まるのも計画のうちだったと。結果的に彼女を機密に触れさせてしまった。アルバさんがデータを盗む間、あなたがそれを援護する。
Iglo lightly flicks her rapier, tracing a graceful arc through the air.
その大胆さ、驚嘆に値します。反逆正体は確かにその名にたがわぬ精鋭ぞろい。アルバさんには後ほど謝罪させていただきます。
Not much of a talker.
私たちは敵対する定めにありますが、あなたやアルバさんには敬意を表したいと思います。
Iglo's tone is earnest, yet a dangerous glint flashes in her eyes.
しかし、職務は全うせねばなりません。あなた方を見逃すわけにはいきません。お嬢様やジラードグループの未来、そして楽園計画は何より優先されます。ボイマスティナさん、無礼をお許しください。
Please forgive me when I beat the shit out of you.
そろそろ対話を切り上げさせていただきます。
無駄話が多い。
では、言葉ではなく行動で示しましょう。アルバさんを全力で阻止させていただきます。
Alright, I can't wait to kill you in one turn in this. Nice bow, okay. Hold up. I don't know where this dust storm is coming from inside. Fair enough though, that was pretty swaggy. She's so elegant that she like summons a dust storm to surround her just for like the aura effect. The soundtrack as well, god damn. Okay, well, it was a good fight. You were a respectable opponent. Oh, I have to kill all of them, okay. She's so cool that she can't let the level end in one turn. She's gotta drag it out a little bit. I see. I respect it. The clash of metal on metal echoes through the empty corridor like a piece of meticulously composed music. Every thrust of Igla's blade is graceful and dazzling, as though she is dancing, a waltz rather than fighting for her life. Her rapier traces perfect arcs through the air. Though her movements are filled with flourishes, each strike is measured to the millimeter, leaving no opening at all. Voimastina answers with steady, precise blocks. The twin blades in her hands become extensions of her body, every motion stripped of excess, just like her personality. The battle between two top-tier tactical dolls has long surpassed the bounds of ordinary combat, resembling an intense performance instead. I can't wait for her witty remark to that. Igla's voice remains mild and velvety, yet every word carries a razor-sharp killing intent. She speaks even as she threads her attack through nearly impossible angles, the rapier seeming almost alive as it hunts for the tiniest gap in Voimastina's defense. Her high heels strike the floor in an elegant rhythm, each step part of a dance, each step carrying lethal threat. Voimastina does not respond. All of her attention is focused on the fight. Her body is already covered in wounds, her combat suit is slashed open in several places, exposing synthetic components beneath and the seep of biomimetic blood. Even so, her movements remain precise and efficient without the slightest hesitation or retreat. No sooner does Igla finish speaking than she abruptly accelerates her assault. The rapier leaves after images in the air, every strike viciously angled at points that are hardest for Voimastina to defend. At the same time, the few remaining marionette dolls behind her join the fray, attempting to break through Voimastina's defenses from the flanks. Voimastina's wolf's eye flashes, and the next instant she twists her body at an almost impossible angle, narrowly evading Igla's deadliest thrust. Simultaneously, her long blade sweeps sideways, cleaving a charging marionette doll cleanly in half. Igla inclines her head slightly in genuine admiration. As if to validate her words, the long blade in Voimastina's left hand emits an ominous sound of metal fatigue during the next block. With a sharp crack, the blade snaps in two, the broken edge spins away and embeds itself deeply into the wall. Voimastina glances expressionlessly at the broken weapon in her hand, then casually discards it and grips the remaining blade with both hands. Her stance grows slightly constrained, but her gaze remains as firm as ever, without the slightest hint of retreat. Igla twirls her blade in a flourish, its cold sheen flashing beneath the lights. Her posture is unhurried, as though she holds complete control over the battle. Voimastina answers calmly. Her gaze sweeps down over the corridor. The marionette doll unit under Igla's command has been almost entirely annihilated, leaving only a few that are barely able to move. Voimastina lifts a hand to her head and rolls her neck. Before she gets to the end of the sentence, Voimastina suddenly drops low to evade Igla's thrust at an unbelievable angle. The cold glint of the rapier skims just above her head, severing a few strands of hair.
忠告感謝します。
That's a good take. Holy shit, man. Stop the fight real quick. I want to think about that. I need to write that down as a quote real quick.
私の存在意義は強さではなく、お嬢様への忠誠です。あなたには理解できないと思いますが。
Clementina strains to block the relentless barrage. Fine cracks spread along her remaining blade. Her movements begin to slow slightly, yet her eyes remain keen as ever. I used my special ability. Gun. At that moment, a burst of precise gunfire rings out from the far end of the corridor. The bullets travel along an impossible trajectory through the complex environment aimed straight at Igla's vitals. Igla reacts instantly. Her rapier arcs flawlessly through the air, knocking the bullets aside with ringing clangs, except for one. A single round pierces her shoulder, punching a hole through her pristine suit. Igla's movements falters for an instant, disbelief flashes across her eyes before hardening into icy fury. Alpha's voice rings out from the end of the corridor, clear and resolute. She stands at a perfect firing position, posture steady, muzzle trained directly on Igla. Igla is about to give chase when she notices Alpha's muzzle dip slightly, revealing several small devices on the ground blinking with red light. Oh, trolled. A chain of explosions erupt, instantly turning the corridor into an inferno. Smoke, debris, and shattered concrete surge from all sides, engulfing Igla in the ruins. That's not really cool, fam. We were having this awesome sword fight, and you just ruined it. From within the dust comes Igla's cold, restrained voice. With a thunderous crash, piled-up rubble is hurled aside by immense force, and her figure slowly emerges. When the smoke finally clears, Alpha and Voimastina are already gone, vanished around the bend of the corridor. It's imperative that we kill them both before tea time. Fight to the death with swords. Just before tea time. Aw. Truly posh. Hard cut to Zimmerman being a loser. It's imperative that we need to kill them both, okay? We can't just continue to lie to them and keep it under the rug and just have them work for us. No, we need to actually make enemies of someone really important to Girard, who has done all of the science shit for us, and her doll, who is the strongest doll in the universe. How do you, like, listen to that person speak and be like, I should give this person money? She seems like a trustworthy scientist, definite genius. We should just give her the entire budget. Zimmerman is suddenly at a loss for words. From the other end comes an intentionally exaggerated pearl of laughter. Sheila Vig's voice suddenly drops into a soft whisper, which sounds more menacing than any shout.
それは
ジラードはもう泥船も同然だからあんたに接触したあんたは投資してるんじゃなくて投資させてもらってるの立場をわきまえてね
Listen here, buddy, you're not calling the shots. We chose you.
私たちの信頼に応えてほしいなじゃないとどうなるかわからないよ
The call cuts off abruptly, leaving only a burst of harsh static. Zimmerman stares at the communicator, his expression unreadable. He takes a deep breath, slips it back into his inner pocket, and sinks into thought. With ample personnel and combat resources, attacking a research institute located in the White Zone should have been effortless. So why did the mission still fail? Could someone have been obstructing his actions all along? Nah, man, your guys just fucking suck. Do it again. Send more people. That'll definitely help you out. A firm knock at the door interrupts Zimmerman's thoughts. Without waiting for a response, the door opens on its own. A tall man in a military uniform strides inside. Oh, he's gonna get his ass beat. Zimmerman is about to erupt, but when he recognizes the man, he swallows his anger at once and puts on the flawless professional smile from his campaign posters. Oh, it's not Kryuger? God damn it. I thought he was gonna come and beat the shit out of him.
しかし今回の件でファルベングループが誠意を示すことができなければそのつもりで
It looks like he's just eating something sour, just trying not to cry.
わかりました
That's what you get for having the shittiest facial hair in the world. Zimmerman finally mutters a reply, a confidence in his voice clearly replaced by
明
distress.
日までにあの第三世代人形をお届けいたします
By the end of the day, it looks like nighttime, buddy. You better hurry the fuck up. The officer nods and turns to leave the room without another word. Once the door closes, Zimmerman's smile vanishes instantly, his face twisting into a grotesque expression. He snatches up a nearby wine glass and hurls it violently against the wall. Oh, he's giving into a soy rage. Finally. Sheila Vig ends the call. She was still just looking at he was just listening to him. She ends the call and looks at the small figure behind her.
おかえりお花ちゃん
Yep, I knew it. Helena trembles uncontrollably as she stares wide-eyed at the woman before her. She tries to make the floating spheres protect her. They aren't responding at all.
あれ誰がこれをあんたにあげたのかあいつらは自分たちを優先してあんたをくっさい下水道に置いてったんだよはっウケるあんたがそんなに大事なら今ここにあんたがいるのはおかしいよね
She's such a piece of shit. Genuinely.
それにイグラも怒らせちゃったし今頃ズタボロにされてるんじゃないかなまあそんなことは置いといてさあ役目を果たす時間だよ準備に取り掛からないと
Faced with this absurd and bizarre woman, Helena's body continues to shake uncontrollably, but her fear doesn't last long. Because her consciousness soon succumbs to darkness. I hate that I was able to predict that so easily. Like the ending, that she was captured again. It's like, yeah, it's going too smoothly. They have to figure out a way to keep the story going. Other than that, yeah, good stuff. It feels like a good, solid ending for what happened. You learn a bit about A94, you see how she's doing. The fight was pretty cool towards the middle, or towards the end. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about this part. The first part was definitely the funniest, just like these 4 missions. Playing as the commander, the whole research thing. Yeah, that stuff was all good, and now it's set up the sort of end, so yes, we'll be there to see how it ends, I suppose. Only 1 day and 14 hours. I haven't started editing either of these. So it was kind of a yikes moment for me, personally, but I really like this event. This is probably the best one GFL 2 has had. In fact, I wouldn't even say probably. It is the best one GFL 2 has had. So yeah, see you guys in the next thing.